And that's the whole point of this video today. I want you to actually think about this. Like, what are you allowing to stay in your life? Could it be that alcohol is one of those and you should have let it go a long time ago? So let's go on to 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 23. And here, Paul is telling Timothy to do this. And you're saying, wait, you just got done with this long story about how you don't touch alcohol and it shouldn't be a part of your life. And now you're saying that Paul, the same guy that just said, don't be drunk with wine, is telling him to drink wine. So listen, there's a difference. So 23 says, don't drink only water. You ought to drink a little wine for the sake of your stomach, because you are sick so often. Now you have to understand that in this day and time, modern medicine did not exist. Today we live in a very different world. Now I'm not saying that some of the stuff they give us is any better. The Apostle Paul here is not saying merely tasting wine is a sin. He's warning in specifically against drunkenness, okay? That's what Ephesians is saying. So here in 1 Timothy, this verse indicates that wine was used in biblical times for medicinal purposes. Notice that Paul says a little wine. The main point in these passages is that there's a difference between moderate use and abuse. There's a massive difference in allowing it to control your life, to do it for, and what is your motivation behind it? So let me ask you this. When you talk about hanging out, you're talking about doing something, say 4th of July is coming up. That's a big one. 4th of July coming up, you're like, we're about to get drunk. We're about to go do shots. Think about how you're speaking. What is your motivation behind the way you're talking like that? If you're a Christian, that life, that mindset, that desire to do that should be dead. It should be gone. It should not exist anymore in your vocabulary of those types of things. So here's the thing. In Christianity, what we love to do is to take Christ and mix it with flesh, and it's no longer Christ. If you put any flesh, any worldly thing that you used to do and try to mix it in with Christ in Christianity, it is no longer Christianity. You have made yourself an idol and a god in your own life, to where you're not going to adhere what the word says. You're not going to follow Christ's example. You're going to follow your own. Okay. It's very, I'm not saying that's like, it's not sexy. You know what I mean? It's not attractive. But that's the truth. When you start mixing in what you want and desire and label it, use the label of Christ on top of it, you have done nothing but poisoned any good that can come out of that, because you're mixing sinful nature with Christ-like attributes for what you say, and then they end up not being, if there's any flesh mixed in with Christ, it's not Christ at all.